Louis Guidetti, sexy painter, didn't sleep at all. Formulated the perfect plan to shift and correct your drawing with minimal effort. Trust me when I tell you that even your average beginner butthole. So we have a figure. What she's going to do, she's going to move. She's going to sink into position, but we already have a block in. So that block in, boom! I definitely did not trace this. I simply memorized the pose and then I drew it on this gray background right here, and then it magically fit into the figure. And so we want this block in to fit this pose. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go through and be like, okay, time to go through and erase the whole entire position here and redraw it? No, idiot. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use the lines that we have drawn as references. So imagine this is planful, right? The first things first, what's happening? We need to understand what's happening in the figure, what's happening. We're gonna push the hips out just a little bit. Belly button stays about the same, right? That's the belly button. The upper torso is going to go over this way and the head is going to counterbalance, if you will, the rest of the body, because we're going to have essentially the weight still needs to be going right down the middle. We have to be able to fix it very quickly. And that's one of the reasons why I like to block things in very simply at first, especially is because we waste our time with the details if we know the model is going to move. Normally you want to wait about 5-10 minutes or so after the model has been posing for some time to let he or she sink into position so that you don't lock in a pose in that period of time. It gives you a little bit of a grace period to change it as such. Even so, even if you've detailed it to a certain degree, as long as you have not gone through and really pressed in, you can still move the drawing. Just make sure that when you're drawing, keep your lines light. You want them firm enough to see, but light enough to be able to shift and move. We have from this point to here, the hand is going to move in this way some. So we're going to go ahead and just sketch this in. Basic baseball glove mitt. Nothing too fancy. There we go. And when I draw body parts. We don't want to just draw the contour. We want to see these points. If you want to understand my thought process, watch where my pencil, or in this case, the Wacom pen taps, right? Watch where it taps and you'll understand my thought process, right? There we go, just wisping these lines on expertly and effortlessly as she goes. Bitch. Boom! There we go, and then the head up here is very complex. Just kidding, this is incredibly easy because my brain is so big. So at this point, what we're gonna do, we are going to essentially erase the old lines. Boom! Essentially what we have done, we have gone from this pose to here. And our original block-in was right here. Let's put the gray background up. So this is our original block-in, and then we shifted it up there. So 1, 2, 2, 1. And that, my friends, is how we freaking do it! Here's a stream about a year ago, and let us see what wisdom I had even back then, a year ago, for all the peasant morons. Yes. Play. I'm going to shift this. This is not going to be the drawing that we're going to end up with. No. In fact, I think now's a good time to do that. I'm going to switch or introduce the other drawing in that I'm going to switch it to. And this is how, at this stage, and I can do it at more advanced stages too, but for now this is fine. There's enough information in. How do you shift a drawing like this without fully erasing and starting over. I'm about to blow your face off with this knowledge. Time to get technical.
Technical. Genius.
Please tell me to put the image up. So I'm going from the right side, the one you see on the right, to the left. Because this oftentimes happens. The model will be sitting there and then they'll kind of be like, this sucks, and they'll start thinking about it. Yeah. Thinking about how they hate drawing.
Dumbasses.
And wonder why I don't feed them or give them breaks or let them talk or let them get out of that box. And they sit there and it's a really awesome look that they get on their face.
It is.
And I keep them there for days. Days. We could shift the body over this way or we could shift the head. I'm gonna shift the head. I'm gonna shift the whole thing. It's gonna be kind of, you know, going back and forth. So first thing I'm gonna do, going straight across. This is kind of still going straight across. This is coming up just a little bit. This is important because it helps with understanding the gesture of the head, okay?
What the hell is this?
I'm not being picky with this. I'm being smart.
Shoulders help.
Smart.
Always get the shoulders in. Don't be an idiot.
Boom.
Boom.
All right.
Shakalaka.
So from here, assuming
pencil technique,
correct, assuming this is correct, which I think it is, I'm going to go through, and you don't want to erase first. You want to, and this is a little tricky. Kind of leave the lines in.
Leave them in.
Block it in.
Subtle changes. Subtle changes.
Block it in.
Block it in. Straight lines.
That's going to remain kind of the same. It's going to be kind of the same height.
Right.
Okay. We're going to shift the ear over.
Where's my knife?
Goes over a little bit.
Screw this. Screw it.
There's a space right there. The height. Actually, the ear comes up slightly in relationship to where it was before. And this is going to be a big shift. So from here, I'm going to shoot all the way over. I'm really trying to think about this width. This is big. And this is hard because this side right here, in reality, could be moving and that could be changing some. So this is a change that you have to do relatively.
Stuttering problem. I've gotten over it.
Relatively.
Not edited, unfortunately.
Relatively quickly.
We got it.
Okay? So
good.
To this point right here, whereas this angle was like that.
Big angle
shift
first.
it some.
Don't do the small
Here's another advantage of the simplicity is that you can change
that
really quickly, relatively quickly.
Again.
A pose. Without having to go through and worry about changing all the detail and all that stuff, or detailing it as you do it. Because if you detail and do this stuff at the same time,
you're an idiot.
Oh, it is hard. It is very mucho hard.
Mucho,
okay,
as the French say.
And so, in a sense, I'm still using these old points to judge off of.
Damn right you are.
To judge off of.
Off of.
That's what I'm doing. Here, the nose, this should be coming up. It's like y'all are waiting for this to look good, and then afterwards it looks absolutely horrible. I'm like, well, that was embarrassing. It didn't work.
But
I've done this billions of times. All right, and I haven't messed up once.
Joke.
Peasants. How dare you doubt me?
My armor's getting rusted. Damn ceiling.
This angle.
My spouters. Oh, commentary. All right. Miles, move quickly, change quickly. Always be ready. Always be dancing with
I am
the
going to
figure.
clean this up in a second. You don't need to do the whole thing. Like,
It's kind of boring, isn't it?
okay, so this actually,
We can fast forward if you want. It doesn't matter.
like that, and then you have it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go through and fix this. Actually, okay.
Stuck.
Here, there. There. This is probably coming in some too. Yep. And
Spouters.
fix that. This is like that because the head kind of went over that way. And then you have this, and then this angle is
So boring.
more. Actually, I kind of had it, which means what I had before was wrong. Huh.
It wasn't. Don't undersell yourself. Idiot.
Okay.
Man. And we're done. Here we go.
So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go through and erase the old drawing here. Okay?
Don't need much eraser, just a little bit. Squeeze it ever so slightly. All right? That's how you can get in there with those little grooves. Just go in. All right? Drawing, use your whole arm. Don't be like an idiot and just use your fingers.
We'll have to correct it because it's not like I got it perfect. Do you all see how it's kind of coming now? Do you see that? It's kind of shaping up.
Ship shape.
And it's good to know how to do this in your work. You can do this in painting as well.
Quick. Let's do it.
Wait. Yeah, that.
Dude,
and I'm gonna erase
90% of it's having the nuts to do this.
That's the old.
Big balls.
There. Okay, you see that? And then the beard, I could freaking bring that.
And you can do that soft.
See, that's
beard,
actually
right?
very soft.
Soft.
Very
there we go.
Atmospheric.
Great minds.
Okay.
Atmospheric. Is it done? I think it's done. Well, there we have it. So that, my friends, is how we frickin' change a portrait from one position to another position, and we can do the same thing with a figure. As you can tell, I so fluidly and expertly demonstrated it on a genius level, as I always do.
Oh my God!
So I think that about wraps it up. That was not it. Technical error. I have rectified.
Now, we're kind of back in the ballpark, right? We're getting there. We're getting back in the ballpark. So now I'm looking at angles. I'm relating this angle to this angle right here, okay? Seeing 1, 2.
Always compare.
As a shape, as an angle. This, yeah, I carried it too far, but that's okay.
Draw
So
one
we have
line.
an eraser, which I draw with more than I do my pencil. Okay. Here, in fact, this drops slightly. How did I get to that conclusion? I measured this
Genius.
area right there, and this was too thin. It still is, the light shape at least. This comes up.
Ah, yes, and here we have the time lapse. So what do? We constantly correct the drawing. We already shifted the drawing, and we're going to constantly keep on correcting the drawing, fixing the proportions. Start very basic, then we just block it in using straight lines. And then we're going through getting the basic shadow shapes and slowly carving out the shapes from there. And if we get the big basic structure correct, then we're probably going to have a very good foundation to start carving out the details and such, start shading, doing all the fun things that we all love to do. And yes, here we are. I can tell I messed up on the ear, went back through. I was bold enough to redraw it, recorrect it. Everything's at a workable stage at this point. I could probably go through excluding the ear and erase everything. It would be clean paper. We're starting to darken up some, starting to work on some basic values. We learned to key the values, relate them all to one another, and using cross-hatching technique, flowing with the form. And as you can tell, we have a lot of movement in the drawing, a lot of character, expertly done. And this, my friends, is probably going to be in the Louvre within the next couple months. Infusion of Knowledge. Now, I also live stream my work on Twitch every single week, and I have a Discord community where you can talk to me and ask me questions. So until next time, I am Louis Guidetti, the most disheveled artist on YouTube. Or am I?